Hey guys, welcome back to the Caden Games YouTube channel. My name is Caden, and today we are going to be going over your very first script in Roblox. So let's get started. First of all, thanks so much for watching my last video in this series. Today it's beginner scripting tutorial number 2, and as I said, it's your first script. Okay, so first of all, let's just make sure you know what a script is. A script is something that can control something in the game, for example, changing the color of a part, or many other things. Like, they just control basically how the game functions and what players can do. So before you start making your script or anything, make sure you do come up here to view, make sure you have view selected, choose explore, and also properties, and output. So now that you have all of those open, I also did turn down the music, by the way. So let's see how you put a script and where you should put it. So you can put scripts inside of workspace, although it's kind of unorganized if you put them there, but sometimes there are good uses for that. Service script service here is basically where you will mostly put your scripts. So what you're gonna do to add one is, you see this little plus button? You're gonna press that, and you can search for a script. There's also a local script, but we're not going to be going over those. Just know there is a huge difference. So just add a script for now. And here is what we have for a script. When you first open a script, you're going to see print hello world here. Let me zoom in a bit. You're going to see print hello world. So you're probably wondering what that does. Let's see. You see this output down here? Something is going to show up in here, so make sure you're paying attention to that. And how you test the game is by going over to the test tab and pressing run. And you see we got a little message in the output, which, yeah, okay. So you need to have the script closed before you do this. So let's try that. If I close the script, and then we go over here again to test. And then by pressing the run button again, wait, first of all, you need to stop. And then, by going back over here, getting a nice error, that's great. Yeah, by pressing run, you're gonna get a little message in the output, hello world. And if you did notice back in that script, we had something that said print hello world, and that's exactly what it did, is it put out hello world in the output. So first of all, let's go over how you print things. And actually first I'm going to just explain what a string is. So any piece of text in a script is known as a string. So this little hello world right here is a string. And how you can tell is by seeing that it has quotation marks. So if I say this is a string, that is a string because it has quotation marks. If I just typed this is a string like that, it's gonna have an error because the script has no idea what that is because there's no quotation marks, so that it doesn't know that it's a string. It's basically what a string is, but I will be doing a more in-depth video on data types soon. So the output is where you're going to see when you print things into the output, you're going to see things there, and you are also going to see errors there, which we will be going over in a second. But first, let's try printing something. So how to print something to the output, which is just basically sending something to the output, is you type print and then open and close parentheses. And also there is autocorrect or autofill in Roblox Studio. So if you type script, you can hit print, you can press it and it'll autocorrect to print. And then you get exactly the right syntax. And then remember, strings need quotation marks. And then let's just print, hello, this is a string. And if we run the game now, it will print, let's see. And there we go. Hello, this is a string. And that's perfect. That is what we wanted. So that's what happens when you print something. There is uses for that. If you need to check if something's working in an actual script, that's what you do. So scripts run instantly when you start the game. or when a player joins. So something that a lot of people do by accident is they'll run a script before the player has actually loaded into the game. So one thing that we can do is if we want this string to print after 5 seconds that the game's running, you can type wait here, which is all lowercase, and then parentheses, open and close parentheses, and inside that you can put a number of seconds. So let's put 5 here. And by the way, these new lines right here, the script doesn't care about them. So it doesn't matter if I have 10 new lines, like 50 new lines, or 1 or none, it'll run the exact same way. So now let's try this out. If we press run, it's going to wait 5 seconds and then it's going to print. So that's how that works. And you can use wait in any local or server script, but you do not know what a local script is yet, so that's okay. Yeah, and that always goes by seconds. So if you wanted a minute, you'd do 60, wait 60 for 60 seconds in a minute. So that is basically what wait is. Something that is also going to be very useful for you is what a comment is. A comment is basically a line that the script will ignore. So if you wanted to write something about what your script did, you can put a comment. So if we say print hello here, and then you go back to the front of the line, I can put a comment here that says prints hello, and the script is going to totally ignore that. And if we run the game, nothing happens with that comment. It just prints hello into the output, which that is perfect. So that is what a comment is if I use them. Yeah, you can also put line comments like this. And yes. Okay, so now I'm going to show you what an error is. Just kind of basic what an error is. So if I were to try and print this is an error like that, but as you see, there's no quotation marks. So when I run the game, I'm going to get some nice red text. If you see here, that indicates that there is a problem or an error. I'm going to just get a better example of an error. You don't know how to reference objects, which we will be doing in the next episode, so don't worry. But if I were to do this, lights isn't a thing. So when I run the game, we will get an error, but I think I need to play the game for this to work. So let's do play. And yeah, as you can see, we are getting an error. And that's basically what errors do. And when you click on them, it takes you exactly to the script that the error has. The script that the error is in. And so yeah, that is what an error is. They're very helpful. I will be teaching you how to read them soon. But that is basically what an error is now. So let's try one more thing before we end this episode. Say we wanted to print 1, 2, 3. Pause the video and try doing it, and I will teach you in a second. Now that you've paused the video, hopefully, I will show you how you can do print 3, 2, 1, and you're waiting a second in between each. So if I do wait 1, this is not a great way to do it, but you can do it. So we'll do wait 3, wait 1, then print 3, and then print 2, or that's a wait, sorry. Print 2, and then wait 1, and print 1. That should work. So every second it should print 3, 2, 1. Let's see. And as you see, it waits in between each one. There's about 3 seconds, and then it will print the correct thing. Also, if you didn't know, this Explorer here will just show you what's in the game. So you have workspace here, and start server script service, replicated storage, starter GUI, all these other types of things here. That's what the Explorer does. It's just an easier way to see things. Also, you can click and drag them around. So if you click and drag this script, oh my gosh, it's highlighting everything. You can click and drag the script into workspace, and it will still run. But as I said, server script service is a better place for that. See, it still works perfectly fine. Yeah, so that is basically it. And that is basically how you create your first script, how you start printing things into the output, what comments are, what the wait function is, and what errors are in Roblox Studio. Thanks so much for watching, and goodbye.